teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Confusing timeline on Foodie's videos today. It's taken a while to kind of sort it out a little bit. She's had a few lives, 2 of them have been deleted. She's had some community rants. A lot went on. Yeah, the first live I think was breakfast, or did just Beezing come before that? I think breakfast was first. I'm not going to be reacting to it. Sort of secondary to her channel, S-Jam did like a 3-hour live that I haven't watched defending himself. I still stick by the idea that S-Jam is creepy. Yeah, that's where I am. I think we've discussed everything we need to with that, but there we go. She had a live called Just Beezing, which she deleted. I'm going to be recapping that. I've got notes. She had, what was the other thing? She had another live called Liar that she deleted. And I have actually some clips of that. So I was watching these and then they got deleted as I was watching, as I was catching up. So I only saw like basically until Pete's appeared, that section of it. But I'm assuming what I saw is indicative of the rest of the live, because that's generally how her rages go. So the reason I've taken clips rather than just recapping that isn't because I've got a huge amount to say about it, but because she's been a lot faster to dirty delete things to do with Didi. And for all she's like, oh, bring it on, and we'll talk about it when we see the clips, she deletes really quickly. And I think she's more worried about what Didi could do with it, because for some reason she seems to think streaming and then deleting protects her from the content. And as we all know, that's not how that works, especially not in her community where people do grab things. I was grabbing things as I went because I had a feeling it was going to be deleted. I just didn't make it to the end. I got about the first quarter or third, I would say. It's enough. Changed my wig and it's all really like shiny and slidey right now. It's the same wig, but I've said before it takes time to settle and it's driving me crazy. So let's look at Just Beezing. It actually started quite well. Like, all things considered, it didn't start as a rage, which it's how it kind of ended. We'll get into it. So she bailed on Motorcycle Guy. She likes him, but not enough to inconvenience herself, is I think what the quote was. So she had left a comment on Nada's video and then was shocked that people noticed. I'm like, really? Are you serious? Just reaffirms that she doesn't watch his videos every day. Like, of course not, for sure. You know, but she's laughing as she's telling people that, because she can't lie very well. She always like catches herself out. So do you remember when she was like, guys, I didn't buy him an iPad, don't be silly. Very same energy, yeah? She refers to the S-Jam receipts video she did. And she was like, I warned you, it was blurred, I told you. Now, there is a big old section of her texts that are blurred, and then she scrolls down and it becomes unblurred, so it does reveal itself. But there's like a line of one message that's still blurred, I'm guessing because it mentions names. But it didn't really mean much. Like, it reaffirmed what I thought was going on, but at the same time, you can delete messages from Instagram and it won't leave one of those tags that says sender has deleted message. So there's no real way to know what happened between it. And frankly, if you're gonna bring a receipts video, show everything unfiltered, unedited, because there's already enough to doubt. So when you sit there and you've got stuff blurred, it looks bad. Yeah, even if I get the reasons why she's not a credible person, help yourself out, you know? She gets a delivery from Tarte, which I initially thought she had bought herself, and I was like, are you kidding? But Ibiza sent it to her, which, again, in a different way, are you kidding? So she's given Ibiza her address when she gets things, but it's all very scary when S-Jam turns up at her door. It is scary when people turn up at your door, but seriously, when we talk about safety, this would be an example. Stop giving your address out to people. So I went onto the Tarte website because like I said, I initially thought she'd bought it. And based on the products, it was just giving it me an SAR, but I converted it and it was $140 Canadian. So somebody spent $140 Canadian plus shipping to send that to her. And my God, I personally would not invest that kind of money. She does a Villa tour. She's been cleaning. She said that she filled her pot up with like hot water and soap, and she poured it on the areas like the waste that was on the floor. Sorry, I'm still coughing. So that she could clean it up. So personally, I would say, like, given that it's stuff like hairballs and cat shit and possibly her own vomit and other things that come out of bodies, I would say get some proper carpet detergent and some rubber gloves and be careful with that. Like soap and water, I think, isn't going to be quite enough here. She does show it. She's gotten some of it up. The carpet's in quite a state. So I personally wouldn't be happy if I were the owner of that house or the landlord of that house. It does look cleaner than it was in terms of just the filth. Do you remember the long shot I put in the last one? Like the grime on the floor, it's been vacuumed, it's been mopped, it's, you know, it's cleaner and you can tell it's cleaner, but it's still so cluttered. It's got so many boxes, it's got so much crap just piled everywhere. It really doesn't do that apartment justice. And again, I always find when things get messy around me, I get a little bit anxious because it makes me feel out of control. And sometimes it gets that way because I'm not feeling great mentally, which is something she relies on a lot as an explanation. And sometimes it, like, the fact that it's like that can make me feel that way. So it's a bit chicken and egg in a lot of ways, but I couldn't live with that level of clutter. I really couldn't. So where I think her problem started was her conversation turned to dating. And originally it was about the couple of guys she's really into, which, yeah, sure. It's so convenient that every time something doesn't work out, don't worry, I'm talking to somebody else. Oh, he's gone live while I'm talking to another guy, you know? She says she's always been someone who does things quickly and now I want to do my own thing. I wish that were true for her. I wish she could just be satisfied being with herself. And then, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but then I think she would feel so much more fulfilled if she could be happy alone, because you can choose to include someone, but you are always there. So if you're not happy by yourself, having someone else there isn't going to fill whatever problems you have, you know? Kermit gets called an idiot for saying she has nothing good in her life. She has a nice apartment. She has the ability to pay for it, at least for the moment. She has the potential for a lot of good in her life and she wastes it. She chooses to not be fulfilled in anything. So I don't think Kermit is wrong, but Chantal doesn't appreciate it. And to be fair, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't appreciate it. So there we go. But inevitable as the tide, the conversation goes back to now. So then she's trying to defend the fact that she left a comment. She was like, who cares if I left one comment? It's hard not to see his stuff. I had a weak moment. Yeah, it's actually not that hard not to see his stuff. You can't block whole channels, but when it gets suggested to you, as I'm sure it does get suggested to her, you can click on the little 3 dots and you can say, I'm not interested in this on my homepage. So if she's not subscribed and she tells YouTube she's not interested, YouTube isn't going to suggest those videos anymore. But clearly that's not where she is, yeah? And she's not happy that the chat is asking her to answer for it, and she should be answerable for that, I think. With how much that's going on and how vocal she's been in her hatred of them, to then show up and be like, ooh, falafel. Nah, this ain't it. And you deserve to have to explain that, you know? She threatens to block people because they said she bought them groceries. Put a pin in that, because later she rages that she bought them that seafood dinner. So clearly groceries were exchanged at some point. So we had a fun conversation where she was obviously lying and then caught herself up in it. So she was talking about how we essentially don't really know how she spends her time. Excuse me, madam, she spent 10 hours online yesterday. You remember that? I remember that. Yeah, we can count the number of hours she spends online, but she says, I have too many real people. I'm very social. Again, online for 10 hours. Then she goes, let's all admit we have no life because there are people here watching. Way to alienate your audience. So you don't have tons of people waiting in the wings for you, right? She can't have that argument both ways. Either we're all losers because we're here watching her be a loser online, which is what she is basically saying, or she's got too much going on behind the scenes for this and she's not on there for the hours that we've seen her put in. And I don't actually think either of those things are correct, but that is how she's setting that up. But they are mutually exclusive. She can't argue both, right? Let me see. She discusses Motorcycle Guy some more. I love that I made these notes and I'm sitting here like, what the hell was that? What was I writing? I can't read my own handwriting half the time. So she discusses Motorcycle Guy some more. She says apparently they've slept together once, but not straight away. Like the first time, it got a bit confusing because she didn't really keep together her lies, so it was difficult to follow. But she said, you know, the first time they met, they talked for hours. And I'm like, in the dark car park? Because that's where she met him, supposedly. She was in the car by that bowling alley. Yeah? So when she's there, you know, like, oh, we talked for the first few times. Again, he was a bit pushy. Like, if you agree to meet men in darkened car parks, they're going to have certain assumptions about you and about the expectations you have for the evening. So if you want to have a date, meet in a goddamn coffee shop and have a drink. Like, come on. If you put yourself in these situations, they're going to make certain assumptions. And I'm not saying anyone should assume anything on a date, but it very much seems like hookup territory rather than let's have a chat. And I can't imagine in the dark of the parking lot you had any deep and meaningful conversations. You know, she said she's going to put an ad online for someone to take the boxes and just say, I'll pay you $200 instead of paying the $400. Again, no lessons learned in keeping safe online, inviting strangers, like just nothing at all. She had some chats just about kind of October, the fact that she loves the October content. Remember the October content that we didn't get when she was going to do Vlogtober? I remember. Everyone remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. So that's going to be her excuse for not going on the cruise, because she's like, oh, I wish it was at another time for Eurobees, which she's definitely going on, you guys. So I'd be interested to see what content she does for October, for the Vlogtober, which I'm guessing is what she was hoping to do for all the Halloween content, because if it's going to be the excuse to not do the cruise, I want to see some things. But I'm sure we'll be disappointed. Mentions of S-Jam's new video. She said she's not going to watch it. It's a long video. I don't blame her. This is about S-Jam. Instead of reflecting, he blames others, just like Nada. No self-reflection there at all. Not at all. And that, unfortunately, moves the conversation back to Nada, which she starts with the phrase, D2 is such a dumb biatch. And then it goes on. The live, I saw the end of this live through just saying, because again, it got cut off while I was watching it before. But out of approximately 2 hours, she rages about Nada / Didi, because they're all kind of amalgamating into one person in her mind for a solid hour of it. And it's boring. It's boring. She does hilariously say that he's not getting another ounce of my energy, nothing. I cut him off, I blocked him first. She has to be drunk all the time. I had to be high all the time. And it just goes on. Yeah. So she said she's gonna go watch a movie, the Batman movie, with James. And you know, that's gonna be their evening. So later, she goes live again. I'm not sure what triggered her. She's not able to explain it. She can't remember. I have the impression, just because he does live rent-free in her head all day and night, that she was watching it, and because she kind of wound herself up here, nothing particularly triggered her. At some point she said she triggered herself, and so she just had to come back and rage. She does say that during the clips. And I was just like, God damn, wow. You know? She doesn't even need something to trigger her. She's just like this all the time. So I've got a cut down of part of the live stream, which we'll get into now.
Nothing is going right today.
Oh, life is hard.
I'm about to quit fucking YouTube, I swear to God.
Don't you threaten me with a good time, madam.
I'm going back to a fucking office job.
Well, I'd love to see it.
I don't know why I deleted, I shouldn't. I'm never deleting another live stream for fucking...
Spoiler alert, this one was also deleted.
Because I'm afraid of what I say. I love how they're fucking drunk, hammered, as usual, with a bottle of tequila. Makes them so fucking abusive and fucking angry and aggressive. I can't.
She's gonna use the word fucking bitch a lot in the next 8 to 9 minutes. Just be aware.
Why do I even why does he have to be on YouTube? Why did I make him a channel? I fucking hate him. I fucking hate them. Yeah, Dee, I'm sure you're having a great time with your new fucking husband who won't even fucking claim you.
Really gonna throw stones about not being claimed? I mean, really? He's living at her house. At least he's there. At least he acknowledges her in that way, right? I don't like the idea of being claimed. In a lot of ways, it's a bit skeevy, but it's obviously important to her. So I'm like, of all the things to go for, we're gonna throw stones at that.
You're dressed like a fucking granny, and you look like you're a fucking man.
She makes, this seriously, throwing around that she looks like a man like an insult. Apparently she's forgotten that, you know, in terms of gender and gender identification, that James is going through his own set of realizations in regards to that, and the way she's talking about it and throwing it out like a man, because, you know, there was those rumors because of how Foodie described her. There were rumors that Dee Dee might be trans for a while, and we were like, hey, that's not okay. And this just continues from that. Although she did blame, am I misremembering it? At one point she did blame, she said, no, that came from the haters. And I'm like, pretty sure it came from you. We get things from places.
Like a bean sprout on crack with your ugly fucking haircut. And who bought that fucking seafood dinner for you? Guess who?
Question then. If she bought him that seafood, she's quite hard up for money at the moment, but she was saying she was getting a direct deposit today, I think it was. Some people in the comments, thank you by the way, they reminded me about OnlyFans. Even though she's not really doing anything, I'm guessing she still has people as members on there somehow. So she got a direct deposit, and I guess immediately sent him money. So if any of you are thinking of supporting her, remember she's still paying him. And also remember the people in the last live that she was like threatening to block and getting mouthy with, yeah, she did actually pay for his groceries.
Did you take her fucking Visa card to the little fucking fish mall today?
Fish mall? Does she mean fish market? I'm assuming.
I'm gonna go to jail, I know it. I can just fucking feel it.
Potentially at this point. I mean, really. I was actually looking up the requirements for harassment. Yeah, I'm guessing they'd be different. Criminal harassment, stalking, and I guess civil harassment, I'm guessing would be a different set of requirements. But she's skirting some of them, I tell you. So I had a look. Hang on, I'll put them up on screen maybe. But I had a look and it said, in terms of the Ontario Human Rights Commission, harassment is defined in subsection 10.1 of the code as engaging in a course of vexatious comment or conduct that is known or ought reasonably to be known to be unwelcome. So she does a lot of that in this, and I will point it out as we go. I then looked up criminal harassment. There's a few different things you have to prove in order to get a criminal charge, and I don't think Foodie's fulfilled all of these yet. But she's closer than you'd think in terms of if you're going to make a complaint. So the plaintiff having been felt being harassed by you, I'd say she checks that box. Knowing that a certain conduct would make the complainant, feel harassed, or you were willfully blind or reckless with regards as to whether particular behaviour would make the plaintiff feel harassed. She is happy that she is triggering Dee Dee, and she mentions it in this live stream. Worries of the complainant being reasonable under the circumstances and you being engaged in some prohibited activity as outlined in the Canadian Criminal Code. I'm not quite sure what that one means, so I don't know how close she is to that. I wasn't quite able to pass that. Prohibited conduct may include... prohibited activity. This is the prohibited activity. Sorry. Prohibited conduct may include the following plaintiff everywhere repeatedly, communicating with complainant non-stop, or anyone close to them, either directly or indirectly. YouTube would be an example of that. Watching the place regularly where the complainant lives or works. Now, she doesn't do it regularly, but she has shown up at their place and she has been sat outside their place. So it didn't happen a lot, but it happened. Displaying threatening behaviour directed towards the complainant or someone close to them. I don't think she's been outright threatening.
Hey teacups, just a post-edit note here that when I went and looked in the community posts, she does say in one of them, "You will pay," which I wasn't aware of when I was filming this. Okay, you'll see it at the end of the video.
But she has been very unpleasant about Dee Dee and harassing her verbally, certainly, and in a public way. It does say repeated badgering. It says basically, although the word harassed has not been defined by the Canadian Criminal Code, remember I got the other definition from the Human Rights place, the Court of Human Rights, the Canadian courts have usually interpreted it as being troubled, worried, or badgered as per the conduct of the accused. Repeated badgering through a single extended interaction is deemed sufficient by the Canadian courts to fulfill the repeated element. I think even, like, if you're talking about fearing for your own safety, I don't think Dee Dee has feared for her own safety at any point, but if you were going to take Foodie to court, you could definitely look at some of the things she's done and you could spin it, is what I'm saying. Yeah? Anyway, that's just a little aside, but I found it interesting.
What are you gonna say? Oh, bring me to court, bitch. Bring me to court, I can't wait. Of course she's drunk. She's always drunk. She's a fucking drunk.
What was Foodie on during the Cuba age? And you know, when she was vomiting on screen and doing finger guns to pumped up kids while talking about certain recent tragedies involving child death, what was she taking? I know it was edibles and something else. I'll have to go check that.
She's a dumb drunk. She probably drinks on the job too. She's drinking wine all fucking day.
So she does use the word probably there, but again, best not to cast aspersions on her career, yeah?
Orders 3 bottles a day. She's a drunk. I hate her. It's just gonna torture me forever.
Yep, no one's fault but
at
yours.
your house, dumb fucking bitch, is because I don't want his ass. And I don't want his ass because he's an abusive piece of shit who doesn't take accountability for anything he fucking does.
Neither does she, and apparently she just paid for his seafood, so.
He just moves on to the next woman he can use. And he's gonna get away with it and get fans now. Yay.
Well, you probably shouldn't have platformed him then.
No, not while I can help it. As long as you're on YouTube, and you and Dee Dee, there's always gonna be story times ruining your reputation.
Now, she is speaking to Nada here because it's what bothers him the most, but she's including Dee Dee in that statement. So deliberately harassing them, deliberately watching what they do and doing something to infringe upon them. I'm just saying this is what she puts on camera.
So you better take me to court, because I'm not going to stop talking about you. I'm going to talk about you every day. I'm going to make a channel, Nader El Shami Reaction Channel.
Again, does say Nada. I admit she says Nada, but she included Dee Dee in the statement and she's got an awful lot to say about Dee Dee in this live.
Every single day. And I'm going to make back all of the money I ever gave to you. Yeah, but threatening...
She'll need it for the $5,000 fine she'll get for this. That's the fine for harassment if it's found.
To sue me. Oh my god, I can't wait. Courthouse bees.
I want it to happen. Guys, please. I'm immortalizing these clips. Use them. Please go to court. I want this to happen so bad. Just because I don't know if she would get slapped with a criminal charge. I don't. I gave you the list. I'm not sure if she'd meet it. I think there'd be enough doubt on certain points. But I think she could definitely get slapped with A, no contact order, and B, some kind of gag order so she couldn't talk about them. And I don't think she's physically capable of stopping. And I just think it would be amazing to watch her having to stop by law. It's a little bit late. Having to stop by law and then not being able to, and then just going back to the courts and being like, hey, and then them just upping the punishment every time because she won't stop. Like, she's her own worst enemy in so many ways, but it entirely being in her control and just her not being able to stop because she's got to win.
Do they really have the coin? No, because she supports a bum.
Well, she's got a job. She can earn coin. They can make arrangements. You don't have the coin and you earn a hell of a lot more than she does. So what's your excuse? I would actually argue probably, I mean, I don't know the Nada impact, but probably, even though I'm guessing that Dee Dee probably earns a lot less than Foodie, I would guess she's probably got a lot more liquid cash on her than Foodie has.
She's fucking so disgusting and desperate. Of course they're reacting to my life because they have nothing better to do. On a Friday night reacting to me, you dumb idiot. Hope you're watching me, Dennis.
So, knowingly harassing.
With your fucking drunk, watery eyes. Matter, ooh. Desperate biatch. Desperate, desperate.
She really needs to get that mirror out the way before she talks like this.
Go wash your frigging vag.
What was that haul she had? What's the name? Vagisil? The Vagisil haul she had when Nada convinced her that you can get STDs by being dirty? You remember that?
Go wash your vag. I have PTSD. I'm mental because of you.
She was mental long before this.
Actually, you and your stupid comb-over fucking girlfriend, you fucking lying piece of crap.
Oh, it's
I don't
Nada
care if
again.
you're watching me. Good. I hope she hears every word I say about her.
She hears, so it's dedicated to her.
Are you gonna sue me? Add that to your fucking list, you...
I'm sure she is. I'm sure one of the reasons that they sit together on live and play happy couples is because it triggers her. Because if this was ever, if my wishes were granted and this ever goes to court, what they're gonna see is them being perfectly calm online and yeah, reacting to what she puts out, and then they're gonna see her and all the crap she's done. Yeah? And when you break it down to bare bones, out of context, this is the evidence, it doesn't look very good.
Losers. Have more tequila. Drink your problems away. That's what you need to do. More fucking drugs and alcohol and not take any fucking accountability for
Again, that mirror, Foodie, it's gonna get you.
anything you do.
God, she's projecting so hard she could watch a movie on hold.
Don't take any fucking accountability for anything you fucking do. You just get mad and rage.
Don't know anyone else like that, do we?
And Dee Dee, you fucking enable it, you stupid idiot.
Who sent in money for groceries today? Hands up if it was you.
Okay. Have more wine, have more wine. Can't drink your self-hatred away.
Foodie has tried, she knows this is fact.
You'd be lucky to fuck me now, you know that? And I am gonna go to Egypt and fuck your whole family.
God almighty. I love how ridiculous she gets in rage. Like, seriously. I think if she were on fire and the brothers had a glass of water, they'd drink it.
Of course she's drunk as hell. She can't fucking say shit unless she's drunk.
Oh, how many edibles have you taken?
Fucking polar bear girlfriend is not gonna send me shit at 3 in the morning?
Okay, the 3 in the morning thing, sorry, I'm stopping it more than I thought I would. Yes, she sent her something at 3 in the morning, right? But that's Foodie's normal timeline. If you look at those messages from Eshjam and the time they were taken, if you look at the time that she usually messages Nada, if you look at the time she live streams, the night is usually when she's awake. So actually, it's not unreasonable at 3 a.m. in the fact that none of this is reasonable and all of them are stupid. I should preface that. But it's not unreasonable to assume from Dee Dee's perspective that Chantal would be awake.
And fucking give me attitude on your fucking live streams. Every time your fucking D2 bitch gives me attitude on your live streams, it's a story time, baby.
Okay. I think every story time she had, she's already told. I really do, because she's gotten angry enough times in the last 7 months. If she had anything more, she'd have done it. She's tried releasing receipts, and either they've been fake or they've been edited to hell. So nothing about her is trustworthy. And speaking of attitudes online, come on now.
And they're not lies, so go ahead. Sue me for defamation. Defamation? And slander or
Defamation and slander, nah. I think there's been no monetary damage. You could argue damage to reputation, but it'd be a shaky argument because nada is nada, and Dee Dee hasn't lost her job or had other monetary losses. So I don't think there's been damage to her that would help her. But again, harassment I would go for.
based on lies, and it's all true. I'm not subscribed, so I can't comment, or I would tell her exactly what she needs to hear. She's not it. He's using her, and she thinks she's so hot with her fucking Mac. I'm gonna be bold and come on camera now to try to help my friend out or get views. 230 views.
How often did she start the camera up for nada? She platformed him. You're gonna talk about helping him get views?
Unless you're talking about me, Max, because you're boring. Dee Dee, you have the fucking personality of a boiled egg. My farts are actually more interesting than anything that comes out of your fucking mouth. And yeah, you talk about me too, so good luck.
In response to you, I would argue it's been very recently that Dee Dee's been online at all. So if you look at how often she's raged about Dee Dee versus how long Dee Dee's been online and responding, I don't think she's got a solid argument there.
Good luck with your little lawsuit. LOL, SUIT, bitch.
Oh, someone explained the phrase to her and now she thinks she's cool.
Oh yeah, he's still watching Batman. I'm watching Batman with him. I'm like, I gotta go live. I gotta rage.
This just triggered herself. No one's stopping her. She's not apparently not watching a live or anything. She just was so wound up from last time she wasn't finished.
Fuck you, bitch. I'm not
7 months in.
Fucking see you next Tuesday. I don't talk to fucking idiots.
If I were feeling unkind, I'd maybe say something about how she talks to the people in her chat. But that notwithstanding, Dee Dee is calling her at this point, apparently, allegedly, maybe. And she's just refusing to pick up because God forbid she answer for anything she's saying.
We don't talk to bums. We don't talk to bums, bitch.
She is doing this we don't talk to bums, bitch. I don't know why she changes her voice. She speaks about it a little bit in another live. It's quite a weak ass excuse where she's like, oh, I watch a lot of YouTube, and basically she's just taking on the persona of the people she sees on YouTube because she wants to be a mean girl.
We don't talk to bums. She's drunk, so she's calling.
This is a 38-year-old woman.
At your age. Oh, wait, you're so proper. You're so proper. Do it right now. Admit how you fucking treated me like shit. Admit that we were together for a whole fucking year.
Until she gets that, this will never end, and she's never getting that. Ever.
I got her triggered. Good. I hope I trigger you.
I got her triggered. Good. I hope I trigger you. So in terms of knowingly going with harassment, knowingly harassing someone, I got her triggered. Good. I hope I trigger you. So remember those things you had to fulfill we talked about earlier? She's knowingly doing this.
Someone's harassing me with private number. I think that's her.
Well, that would be suspicion, not proof, because the number is private.
I'm going to keep all of that documented that you've been harassing me and calling me.
Really? Because again, if it's a private number, you can't prove it. And if it wasn't private before, which I assume it was because that's what she's saying, then you're cussing her out online to show that you were trying to mediate these things before you took them to court. You could be like, hey, I was trying to call her and say, please stop doing this. That's a reasonable thing that people usually do in these situations.
Still want to sue me?
Yeah, please do. Please. You'd make me so happy. I've never said anything super bad about you, Dee Dee. You'd make me so happy.
Trying not to fat shame? Bitch, you look like you're so much ugly. You look like a fucking man. And you have saggy boobs.
I'm not going to stoop so low as to talk about her boobs, but I do wish I'd never seen them.
Personality of a fucking saltine cracker. Boiled egg fucking bitch.
Is she just hungry? Is that where all this is coming from? Like saltine cracker, boiled egg. Ooh, I could do with some breakfast.
Fucking made me straight again.
That's not how that works.
What else can we say? Somebody insult her for me. They're liars. You're such a stupid simp, Dee. You lie for him, you know that?
So do you.
You act like a moral fucking, I'm so cool. I'm so mature. She had the nerve to message me. She's like, you know what? I have a good head on my shoulders.
Even taken out of context, what does that matter? I have a good head on my shoulders. I mean, I would argue you're with Nada, so I have doubts about that, but she has enough of a head on her shoulders that the charges against him have been dropped, and she is now able to gather evidence for potentially, please, a lawsuit.
You do? You do. Your comb overs on too tight, lady, because I'm sorry. Maybe you don't have mental health problems, but you are insane. Shoo, poo. Go flush yourself down your fucking toilet with your fucking Costco frigging personnel wipes that you probably use to wipe your frigging vag every time you fucked my boyfriend.
Again, 38-year-old woman, officially her boyfriend for a week, got gonorrhea and perfumed and vagisiled her area for months after because he convinced her that it was her fault. Had sex with Dee Dee. I just want all these four things to be upfront and apparent as we listen to this conversation.
That's okay. There's a couple of Moroccan dudes. One Moroccan dude you were talking about. I'm gonna add him on Tinder. I've seen him. I'm gonna swipe right. The guy who cheated on you when you were in Cuba. He's back on Tinder. I found him. Yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, Your Honor, I didn't initially feel threatened, but you know, she asked her chat to go and harass my mother, my elderly mother who's sick in a nursing home. She doxed the address and then asked her audience, her 90,000 strong audience, to go and harass her. And then she started looking into my past and contacting my exes. And yeah, okay, she only turned up to the house a couple of times unexpectedly, but I'm really starting to feel uncomfortable with her presence and I don't know what to do. It's very easy to make a case.
Of course she loves all the attention. She's a fucking desperate, jealous. You were fucking jealous of me, you desperate stalker.
Sorry?
You fucking even. Oh, I love
Again,
your tits,
project
Chantal.
harder.
Oh, I love your tits.
No.
Ugh. God, why do you think I threw up every fucking time I had sex with you?
Because you were drunk and high. The things you're accusing them of, you were. And this is going to be further bolstered by the fact that you went back to the police and told them you're crazy, drunk, and high all the time.
She's giddy because she's fucking hammered. Always hammered. You might want to watch your liver.
How's the fatty liver disease, Chantal?
Where's Ashley? You didn't lie for him, though. Where's Ashley?
Where's Mo?
Huh? Friggin' whole bag of Lachine. You and Shoo.
I wonder how many car parks Dee Dee has rolled up to for encounters.
Friggin' swinger whole bags of Lachine.
Not that I'm saying it makes you a whore if you do that, but if we're gonna throw stones here, come on now.
French hookers! What else? We have a life. You're so delusional, Dee Dee. Delusional Dee Dee. Dee Dee, delusional Dee Dee.
38, projecting hard.
Delusional, desperate, drunk Dee Dee. All D words. Delusional, desperate, drunk doo-doo.
Nobody fucking cares.
Pete, what's the timestamp on this? Oh, where are we here? For the next 2 minutes, I salute you.
About what? Dee Dee.
The fucking drama.
True.
Let the fucking big shit go.
And this coming from Pete, who hasn't had a spine since 1985.
I'm ranting.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, just let that shit go.
I will when I'm ready.
It's fucking toxic and everybody is annoyed by it. The only people who aren't annoyed by it are the people who are, like,
Involved in it? I'm annoyed?
Yeah, no.
You're annoying.
The only people who aren't annoyed by it are the people who are trying to profit off of it.
That's not true. I profit off of this and I find it very annoying.
Well, I'm annoyed.
The reaction exactly. You're annoyed too. The only people not annoyed are the fucking reaction channels
Not
who
true.
use this shit for their own content.
Okay, well, I'm processing.
Let that shit fucking go. He doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, I love
He
Pete so
doesn't
much right
matter
now.
in the slightest. He's irrelevant.
You're
He's
irrelevant.
a fucking nobody.
You're a nobody.
I thought she was saying this back to Pete and I was like, the fuck, madam? And then I realised she was repeating it to Nada through the stream. But I'm betting Pete probably thought that at first.
This is how women process their feelings, James.
I know, but it's been so fucking long.
Seriously, it's been so long. Oh God, when I'm sitting here agreeing with Pete, it's like, yes, come on. Like, it's been nearly 7 months since the Christmas breakup. Oh my God.
Dee Dee's a Sasquatch that shames herself to blend in with society.
You've been processing this shit long enough.
No.
Seriously.
Oh,
Time to let it be processed and just fucking let it die.
Jesus. If that processing was in hair dye, her hair would have fallen off by now.
Christ.
well, go in your room and put your phones on then.
That's a nice, considered response, hey? Would you just shut up and put your earphones in if you don't want it?
I'm saying this for your benefit.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and guess. A lot of people in your chat probably agree with me right now, right?
Yes, of course.
They want you to move on.
I know.
I felt a little bit sad that he got gentler at this point. They want you to move on. When he's like, please, for the love of God, I'm so sick of this, move on.
Well, I want to move on too.
Easiest way to do that is to
No, I hate them.
go.
Pete, the voice of reason. So yeah, the easiest way to do that is just let it go, and she never ever will because of precisely this clip.
Maybe not directly, but I can't let him get to me. I can't let him. How do I win? How do I win?
Until she wins, she can't let it go. But there's no winning. Because the only thing Nada has to do is exist and not say sorry. And he knows it. She's been really clear with it. And because she's got no poker face, she's got no kind of subtleness to her. He knows exactly what she wants and he's not going to give it to her. Just to be bloody minded, he's not going to give it to her. And so this merry-go-round goes around forever until Dee Dee takes her to court and puts a legal gag on her, and then she breaks it and gets put in jail for a week or something. I don't even actually know what the penalties for that would be, but I'd be here to watch it, I tell you that. Okay, continuing with the theme very, very quickly. That's a lie, I'm not very quick in anything, but as quickly as I'm capable of doing, we're going to look very briefly at the community posts. It's more of the same, I've got to say, so we won't hopefully spend too long on it. But she, after this stream was finished and she deleted, because that's all I got from that, but I'm assuming it went on. If I missed anything big, apologies, but this was all I had access to. In chronological order, we had a lot of these. So a painting of Dee Dee, not creepy at all, that someone sent to her that she put up on a community post calling her fishy, saying that the portrait was called Pussy PTSD. So the interesting thing about this, you remember I talked about having to prove you didn't feel safe? On the end of this absolutely mental thing, she's got, since you're watching Fishy, this portrait, the artist called it Pussy PTSD. What you two have done to me, you will pay for. So not worrying at all. Not threatening safety at all. That can be spun very badly, yeah? So then she put up a comment. I'm assuming that she took these out of their live because it's referencing Dee Dee. There's no reason for it to be in hers. All the comments on these community posts are off, by the way. I don't know about her channel, but the comments for this are off. Saying that Dee Dee suffers low self-esteem and that he's no prize, and Chantal is living for this. We then go on to dissing me on my own iPad, LMAO. Bitch, you bought the iPad. Who's the bigger dummy here? You paid for the iPad that he's dissing you on and you still haven't bricked it. This does not show him to be the fool in the relationship. Yeah, he's got a brand new $2,000 iPad that you are still paying for and allowing him to use. She puts the hands up emoji to this when actually it's insulting her as well. You have no life to be live streaming for 8 and 15 hours at a time in the house, and Dee Dee has no place to talk about Chantal. She's almost 50, obese, and dealing with a bum like you. They are one of the same. I think that was actually insulting to Chantal as well, so I'm not sure why she posted it, but she's just in a rage right now. More insults. I can't even fucking read this. Mr. Squiggle and the Terminator dressed as Mrs. Doubtfire. You're having a party watching me on the iPad. I bought the bum grifter. Hey D2, see, can you buy your son a new haircut? So she's just stealing the insults that people have been giving her and Nada for a while, but come on now. Again, you highlighting the fact that he's still able to use the iPad that you paid for makes you look stupid, not him. Text post, I would really, really love to share my entire abuse story. I'm done lying and protecting him now. We've heard that a lot. She doesn't have any proof. She doesn't have any proof. We would have seen it by now. It's not out there. Yeah. And then in massive capital letters, because apparently she couldn't wait a few more minutes. What do I do in my life, desperate Dee Dee cow? You work 9 to 5 at CH Robinson. I know her place of work has already been doxed, but hey there, Foods. And then cater to an abuser and get drunk to stand your existence. Me, you do exactly the same, but you do it on the sly and don't at least get acknowledgement on camera. I have almost 100k followers, beesh, and a very fulfilling life. Eating nashies. Well, she eats nashies, let's put it that way. At least I don't stay in a stuffy 1-bedroom, shitty generic condo. No, she has a luxury villa that she shits and pisses all over. Chain smoking with a bum grifter all day because they don't let you in there. You were hoping, but they don't let you in. To think that could have been me. He crooks his finger. It'll still be her. She's still paying for his groceries. You give women a bad name, doo-doo. Well, you're not doing wonders for the gender yourself, Chantal. You can't even ride a Ferris wheel. Well, excuse me. This might be referring to that. She was like, oh, he didn't even fuck you on the Ferris wheel? No, not everybody is trashed. You broke bun, so tell me again who has no life. This is not proving what she thinks it is as she posts. How many of these have I got? 11 posts over the space of like an hour. YouTube's biggest grifter and liar simp. More insults about Dee Dee and both of them, about fat shaming and all of that. You had no problem with my fat ass for a year when I was paying your rent. So I thought she only paid his rent a few times, guys. Definitely not a lie. This. I put this up on Twitter, just like, remember this quote when she dirty deletes the community tabs? Because if the streams are gone, these are going. Come on now. And then I'm not going to read out all of these, but she posts a couple of comments from, I'm not actually even sure where from, if it's hers or if it's theirs, but that she agrees with and she thinks proves a point. And basically things that insult Dee Dee, say, oh, I think she's dangerous or whatever. Because again, she feels like this is evidence instead of internet crap. So yeah, I'd be really interested to see this go to court and just the prosecutors and the judge just look at them both like, fucking, are you for real right now? Like I say, the law clerk that has to go through, like he works in the solicitor's office somewhere, the junior member that has to go through all this shit to put together a case. Oh, we salute you. I want to see it. I want to see it. Give it to me. Okay, that's all. I know it's been a lot. I'm going to leave you here. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.